Um, so this is what I was looking at this morning, and I'll go over the trade that I missed first. So first, daily is still in that same range, right? Ideally, what I wanted was this 4-hour CSD overnight here, but that never occurred. So I was just that's fine, right? But this was our one failure swing that we wanted to get taken out, which happened on Friday, right? So now, what I was looking at here, and see how the monthly opened lower. That's what you want, of course, for that daily bullish candle, right? As you can see how the 4-hour formed. Decently small lower wick, and even on the daily, a little bit of a larger wick, but that's fine. You go to hourly, and this is what I saw. I saw this 1-hour CSD, and on YM, the SMT was still holding. So that's why I was kind of bullish on every asset, and also the 4-hour close. Um, so this SMT was still holding on YM. And look at this 4-hour close on NASDAQ overnight. See how this low is here? I would love to be able to. This low got taken, and this low got taken. And you see how the 4-hour kind of closed back inside the range? That paired with the 1-hour CSD is all I need to take. Or that's what I would need to see to be able to anticipate that this 18 o'clock high up here is going to be the draw. So right here. And once again, weekly open lower. A little bit of a large opposing run, but still not that crazy. And you can see it wasn't that deep of a shallow run for the midnight opening price. So this is literally what Bread took. He entered long down here somewhere. Stop loss on the 30-minute chart, but he didn't have much risk, and he literally caught this entire move. He sold here and then took more off all the way at this high up here. So that's how I form my bias going into the morning. And you can see this 10 a.m. This is where that wicked right into that hourly order block. But so now we have our narrative, right? And now we can go into the lower time frame. So I always go normally to the 30-minute. I didn't really love the 30-minute price action. Wasn't very clean. But still everything was holding. These two down close candles that was formed after this one is holding price. And so since there's no news until 10 a.m., 9:30 is where my focus is. And you can see we're just kind of sitting inside of this down close candle. This would be your propulsion block. And what I did was I went to the 15, saw we were sitting inside this 15-minute fair value gap, and to the 3-minute is where I went. And this is where I saw the SMT at the lows, and that's why I wanted a long right here. This is where I should have entered this morning. But I don't love trading right before the open, so I let this go. But this was the ideal trade, and one of the dudes that I learned from, Garrett on Twitter, GXT trades or whatever. This is pretty much his entire model, and he took this on NQ this morning right before 9:30. So this is a protected low because the SMT with YM, and we can see that here. Actually, was it YM or ES? I don't remember. Yeah, it was YM right here. So 3-minute. I need to go in replay mode. You guys can see this right here. So here is that 824 level. Play this out. And YM was actually the strongest, right? Overnight. And it was the closest to its 18 o'clock. And then the strength switched to NQ and ES. That's what you want to be seeing. So that's why I trusted this, but I didn't act on it. So literally I would have had to market buy here, and then stop loss would have been at the low. TP up here, and you can see, boom. This is what I mean, 9:30 volatility injection. And this is what I was telling you guys in the alert this morning. The manipulation had already occurred. You can see key time, 3 a.m. because it's London, puts in the reversal, and then now you're getting that continuation at 9:30 because the damage was already done prior to the next key time. But say you missed all this, like I did. The first objective that I was really expecting was this. Why can't I switch time frames? Okay, cool. Nice. Alright. So the next thing that I was looking at after price took out the lowest hanging fruit, I was just looking at the equilibrium of the range. So from here to here, we had a discount. You can see all these liquidity pools are in a discount, so I'm expecting this 4-hour gap to get filled. But ideally, this high was the draw, or the 4-hour gap was the draw. That was the easiest. But say we miss that, we can go back to the 5-minute. You can see here. So logical level hit. That's what I said to you guys, right? Hourly swing high, or 4-hour high, however you want to look at it. A logical area got hit. You can see this 4-hour. We'll just mark out the 4-hour gap. Logical area got hit where you could see some sort of pullback. So that's why you don't want it to be just chasing this. And there's also SMT with ES. SMT or ES never took out this high, so we failed. We also, you can see we left a failure swing to the EQ range. ES comes back down. Same thing. It's the weaker asset, so you can expect a deeper retracement. Let's remove everything. We zoom out. Here's a 5 a.m. low. Ideally, the low of day was put in on indices, right? That's why I was expecting this London low to hold. And we can see midnight prices right here. YM was the real key factor for my trade, the thing that I was trying to alert to you guys this morning, because it took out London low. So that was where the SMT had occurred. And see now how all these failure swings, see how this was close to here? This got taken, but this is that same SMT low that we talked about earlier, and it's still holding. So that's the only reason why I trusted this. And going into the lower time frame on NASDAQ, you can see NASDAQ has been the strongest asset, so we want to be trading the strongest asset ideally. Fails to even take that 5 a.m. low right here, while ES does. So now you have double SMT with YM at its London low, SMT with ES 5 a.m. low. And now all you have to do is you can wait for a 3-minute change in the state of delivery or a 1-minute propulsion block. So I don't like to trade the reversal. I like to wait for the continuation just because it's a lot safer normally, and you can still get good RR. But if you see, if you would have longed just the high of this, and that's what I was going to do, but I was going to take it on ES. So my stop loss would have been based off this 1-minute down close candle right here. This. That's why my stop loss is here. And then 2R would have been still not hit. So I would actually, it would have hit right there. So we would have got lucky. But that was that 3-minute change in the state of delivery that I was looking at. And it was only valid because of the SMT on the other assets. But if this is what I was also looking at, same kind of entry, just a little greedier, right? So 1-minute CSD right here, 1007. Down close candle, rebalancing a fair value gap. And also, this could have been your order block because there was SMT again. So once again, lower time frame SMT, double SMTs. So you can see NASDAQ makes a new low. ES doesn't make a new low while NASDAQ does. So now this could be considered your down close candle on both assets. And you can see that holds. But I was really waiting for this one just because NASDAQ was the stronger asset. So you can see as soon as we close above, we get one more little dip below, and then price kind of explodes and then just still consolidates. But ideally, I don't like to enter this late in the day. Like we were already approaching 10:30, so that's why I was a little hesitant, and I also don't love the 1-minute. But you can see it did work. And if you would have taken this, 2R would have been hit. This is why I like propulsion blocks, because the RR is normally much better. So I would have entered off the opening price, stop loss would have been here at the closing price, and then 2R would have been hit really easily, as you guys can see. So that would have been ideally. This is what I was going to take, but I didn't want to necessarily take an unnecessary loss if I didn't have to. But really, this is a really logical trade. So I did miss this. A little bit of fear, maybe. Maybe a little bit of a struggle psychology in the psychology department, but it worked out. Glad to see it play out. No, I didn't take it. I was going to. Ideally, I wanted the 3-minute. But this is what I alerted to you guys. This is what I did want. This is what I literally had limits set. So 3-minute fair value gap, or 3 minute order block, right? Goes above. And I actually didn't even realize that there was a breaker here until later. So that's why this 3 minute didn't have to get tapped into. But my order was set right here, just in case it wanted to come back down. Stop loss was at 88.50. Whatever, that's fine. And then 2R would have been high day. And then EQ would have been pretty much, yeah, exactly 2R. So this was what I was looking for. Hit the 5 minute gap to the penny and then went up. So I would have been break even right here after all these highs got taken. So I'd still be in this, I think. I don't think prices retrace much. Yeah, so I'd still be in this, but I'd be break even right now if I would have got filled. It didn't hit me by 3 points. So it is what it is. But as simple as possible to break this down one more time. So say you just didn't even miss this because this is a little bit of a more advanced entry. SMT, double SMT, right, with the 5 a.m. low with ES. SMT with the Dow or YM at London low. And then all we're doing is waiting for a change in the state of delivery because we still have unfinished business above. So high of day and EQ of the range. And we're understanding that ES is most likely going to catch up since it's failing to displace under this low. So now we have that range high to be targeted or high day to be targeted. And you can see where we're at right now. So that's all. And the daily candle is supporting that, as you can see right here. Small lower wick, small opposing run under midnight price. And so this ideally was the best entry of the day to me. You get the reversal signature, then you get your continuation entry right here. That propulsion block. This was the best trade of the day if you didn't catch this or the overnight move. I don't know why you can't see GIF. It's going to be in the recording. Anybody have any questions? Did that make sense? Or no? Can you show quick how it looked on ES? Yeah, I got you. So initially I was initially after I saw the rejection, the sharp rejection, I got bearish just because we got the 15-minute CSD. But that's why it's important to just wait and understand that just because you get a 15-minute change in the state of delivery doesn't mean you're just gonna automatically continue lower, right? Even though a lot of people, like, if you don't understand the SMT with the Dow, people would say, oh yeah, this is a failure swing, it needs to get taken. No, it's protected because of the SMT. And that's why you wait for 10 a.m. So you can see 10 a.m. was that reversal. 10 a.m. put in the wick on the daily candle. Right? So that's what that was. Whoops. And ES was the same thing. That's what, and then again, the strength kind of flipped. That's what this was, the strength kind of flipping when there's that SMT right here. NASDAQ made a new low at 10:06. ES failed to do so. And they're both kind of just doing the same thing, even though ES took out new high. See how ES took out high a day, while NASDAQ still hasn't? That's what I mean by that. This lower time frame SMT is showing me that the strength flipped, even though that this 5 a.m. low got taken on NASDAQ, or got taken on ES, but not NASDAQ. And so you can see here, if you were looking for that 1 minute CSD, all up here, like you still could have got an entry, right? If you would have just entered here, your stop loss could have been there. But you can see 2R just would have been hit just above high a day. But that's why you have to understand that the SMT validates this as an order block. So now instead of entering all the way up here, you can enter here with your stop at this and then get much better risk to reward. So you can either hold for 2R or you can hold for all the way up here. And you can see both get hit. And then once again, since me personally, I don't like trading the reversal or I'm not comfortable with it yet, this would be the down close candle that I'm expecting to hold. And then this would be your propulsion block entry on the 1 minute. And then once again, even better RR, tighter stops. And you can see, almost 5R from there. You either have order blocks that are created off of liquidity sweeps and then the candle closure, or the SMT can validate it if the low or high, whatever you're looking at, doesn't get swept. Yeah, SMT is important only if you're trying to catch, you know, the lower portion of SMRs, smart money reversals. But the logic's pretty simple. I mean, to me, I think it is. You literally just wait for a logical area of price to get hit. Don't chase. Ask yourself, is there still a logical level for price to reprice to higher? And then you look for that lower time frame confirmation, and that's it. And of course, guys, like we talked about, 10 a.m. is that new 4-hour candle opening. This is the last thing I'm going to say. 10 a.m. is the new 4-hour candle. How does 10 a.m. open? Here's 10 a.m. open. It opens lower. How do you want a bullish candle to form? Open, low, high, close. 10 a.m. opens lower into what? Our key level. What's the key level? That 5 a.m. low because it has the SMT. If we go into replay mode, what's that key level at 10 a.m.? This order block right here. So once again, now all the logic is making sense. We're opening lower into that hourly order block that we outlined earlier. SMT, and it's important because this is happening at the news driver. So now news is supporting your thesis, and now you have that same. That's why you could have trusted this. But to me, like I said, a little bit of fear of not wanting to lose because I don't always enter on the 1 minute. So I avoided it, but I have to get over that because this was an A+++ setup. But I'm still human, right? Still learning. Not perfect by any means. But you want to study something, this is absolutely beautiful. Any other questions? I'm going to end the recording.